Show me the. I don't know if he's going to like this, but show us the next slide. About how much lawyers cost. Okay. That's the average lawyer. It's going to cost you like $284 an hour. That's in a small firm. The big firms get bigger. In this town, a $600 an hour lawyer, a dime a dozen, right? Yeah, but to put it back to reality for the folks who probably need lawyers, like a senior citizen has a law problem. Show us the next slide, Eric. The next slide, a lawyer. Okay, there is a law that you got to give legal services for seniors for free.
Right.
Okay, so if you're sitting there with a family, somebody that, is a senior, doesn't, needs a lawyer, and you hear about the sequester, the government's not there, so we can't do anything. Nonsense. You can call this number and get free legal help for any senior. I called it just like 2 days ago to show you. It's still there, still working. Run the video, Eric. I'll show you. This is me at home.
Thank you for calling the Elder Care Locator. An information specialist will be with you shortly. Para Español, marque el número dos. Your call is important to us and may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance purposes. Please enter your zip code.
Welcome to the Elder Care Locator. My name is Melody. How may I help you?
Maybe you can't. Listen, I'm trying to help my mom. She lives down in Vero Beach, Florida, and she needs some legal help. And I was wondering, is there a service, like for seniors for legal advice?
Okay, I can locate a resource in that area. You said she lives in Vero Beach, Florida?
Yes.
Okay, and how did you hear about our service, sir?
Well, I just knew of it somewhere. I don't know where.
Oh, right, okay.
So I searched online for elder care, and I found your 800 number, yeah. But there are, like under the, what is it called, the Older Americans Act, there's some kind of legal services, yeah.
Yes. Okay, one of them is called the Florida Senior Legal Helpline.
Uh-huh.
Right, their telephone number is 1-888.
1-888.
895.
895.
7873.
7873. Okay. Is there another one in case?
Just to make you aware, their office is open from 9 to 2, Monday through Friday.
9 to 2, Monday through Friday. Okay.
Right. The other option is through the Florida Department of Elder Affairs.
Uh-huh.
And that's to seek a legal referral for an older adult.
Oh, okay.
All right. And their number is 1-800. 963 5337.
5337. Okay, now the legal referral, so that's a charge service then, wouldn't it be, or what?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. When you speak with them, you can just say you're looking for free legal referrals for an older adult.
I see. Okay. Because there's some kind of funding for the seniors for legal services,
right.
Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I see. Well, wonderful. Well, what else what's your normal kind of problems? I never knew you guys existed. What other kind of stuff do you help with?
Well, we just locate programs to help older adults in their state. So it just depends on what a person is looking for. It could be anything from meals to transportation.
So if the mom needed a ride to get to a doctor's appointment, and I live in Arizona, and she's in Florida, I could find like a service that may be able to get her there?
Right. You would contact the Agency on Aging of Palm Beach and Treasure Coast.
All
right. Their number is... And I do have their number.
Okay.
It is 1-866.
1-866.
684.
684.
5885.
5885. Oh, that's great. What any strange kind of service I wouldn't even think about asking about? I mean, like, do you recall, besides transportation or, the other kind of thing? No.
It's usually the same thing over and over again. Meals, transportation, caregiving, legal help.
So they're the big issues that the seniors have. Huh? And so and people could call you and find a service or a government program or something like that, a local program that could help with that. Huh?
Exactly.
Right. Well, wonderful. Well, thanks for being there.
All right. You're very welcome, sir. Did you want to be connected to one of those resources?
No, I'll give them a call. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome.
Okay. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
So what do you think, Joe? You worried?
I'm not worried at all. As a bar attorney in the state of Maryland, and actually I went to law school down in the state of Florida, and I know a lot of people in the Florida bar, including my wife, who's a member of the Florida bar, even though she's working here in D.C. Pro bono services was one of the reasons why I got into the field of law, so that we could provide services for free. And I saw the number that you put up earlier, $284 an hour. Right. I don't quite make that much money, but one of the reasons why they charge so much many times at firms is so that they can have a certain number of hours that they can provide free services. Yeah. So the community is getting together even there and paying for the services that they're providing to senior citizens and homeowners that can't do their own bankruptcy work, and even the people who don't have a lawyer to represent them in court on criminal matters and sometimes civil matters. So great to see that the elder care line is working. And thank you for taking us through that exercise.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too about now, this is, these lawyers are getting grants from the government to provide the work. It's not in addition to the pro bono work.
Yes.
So that's what's cool about this. So here's the number. Anybody looking, need that kind of help. There's the number 677-1116. That's what I called. And the database is good too. You can go to that database online and find out all kinds of free stuff for seniors that are out there. And a lot of this, that's not income. See, what bothers me is that's not income eligible.
Okay.
So you got millionaire seniors
who can be calling into eldercare.gov. Right.
Yes. Are doing.
That's good to know.
Exactly.
I plan to be a millionaire senior.
Right.
Ride me to the golf course. Huh?
Another thing, I had a guest hooked up today, and he bailed out on me at the end. It was from the put up the next slide, Eric. From the Christian Science Monitor. This sucker. He said, "Yes, I want to go." And they had a great article. This is a full, section about 10 pages big, about 10 surprises for tomorrow's job market. I mean, that's what I'm trying to get people to think. Hey, you got to keep one foot in the door, one foot out the door, and always look at where the waves are going. To catch that wave coming, because it's tough swimming upstream. So you want to know where the stuff's flowing. And this guy did a lot of good research. Some of it's old, some of it's new. Let's see the next slide, Eric, on this that he has. Eric. Oh, Eric's got headphones on. The next slide. There it is. Okay, the new jobs. I mean, this is, you want to know what's growing in our country. Okay, over the next 10 years, these are the fastest growing jobs. This is called the Bureau of Labor Statistics. So if you're in healthcare, that's 750,000 new. Now, this isn't just jobs. These are new positions that are going to happen. Retail sales. Everybody thinks, because of everybody's going to buy on the internet. Bureau of Labor Statistics don't believe. Retail sales is going to be big. Home health care aid, college teachers. I mean, that's amazing to me that we're going to.
Well, I'm a college professor at Georgetown, so I'm happy with that.
Oh, number. Really? You're at Georgetown? Maybe you got my boy. And elementary school teachers. So teaching, I think a lot of the elementary, we have these baby boomers like me retiring and losing things. So that's why keep an eye on those kinds of statistics. Next one, Eric. Now, routine jobs are going down. Now, that sort of makes sense, because of factory workers, things like that. It's down like 25%, over the next, from 81 to 11. So the total amount of jobs that are routine, just doing the same stuff over and over again. Now we have an app for that.
Right.
So you don't have to do that anymore. You get the next slide there. Yeah. Where's the next slide? Factory. Boy, it looked like the last one to me. I mean, I don't know about you, but you read the headlines about factories. The factory sales are going up. Exports are going up. We're exporting more stuff around the world now and all that kind of stuff. But the actual jobs are going down.
Well, they have more robots.
Right, exactly. So
yes, I just saw a thing on CNN talking about Detroit, completely almost bankrupt.
Yeah, it's like half of what it was.
It's like 40 years ago, they was like the number one cities
Absolutely.
to live and work.
And I was a young man. I was
And
your
right-
age then.
And right now, it's,
I remember that.
there's no jobs there, and so they basically downsizing everything
Mm.
to try to bring jobs back, because there's so much space there
Right.
from all these big plants and everything. So now they're trying to bring more companies back there from all over.
And that's really an opportunity in a way if you're a small
It is an
business.
opportunity.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not only for small businesses, but for people that want to become landowners, want to become homeowners, they can go in and they can invest in Detroit at a very moderate rate,
Right.
A moderate rate right now.
And good deals, I'm sure, in
a
real
lot of good
estate
deals,
there, right?
a lot of good deals.
And a lot of people they're tearing down houses and putting farms in the.
Right. I've seen some of that. Some of the urban farming is taking
Yeah.
hold in Detroit. I don't know how that works in the wintertime.
Right,
I heard that
well,
it's pretty
you know,
cold in the
that's
winter.
right.
Yes.
There must be winter plants or something. Christmas trees you grow. And next one, Eric. Now this is about we all I'm sure everybody here at the table believes in education. I do, but you have to be careful. I mean, like here, a loan officer requires only a high school education, and makes about $56,000 a year. Your credit counselor needs a college education and only makes about $38,000 a year. So every position, just because you have a higher
It's not guaranteed.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the profit of money now, especially in the IT field, that you get an 18-year-old and don't want to go to college. He can get into college and go to college, but if he gets some trade schooling, plumber, electrician, or IT field, they gonna make more money than your average 4-year, 8-year college students. By the time someone go to school for 8 years, and I've already worked on a job and I got all of my certifications, they'll never catch up to me. They'll never catch up to me. So those are some of the things. Yes, college, we must go to college, get that degree, but some kids, we got to open up another opportunity for them.
No, I believe
because
that.
like this.
I've always been a fan of trade school education, even though I have an undergraduate degree from Texas Christian University, a graduate degree from Florida A&M University, a law degree from Florida State. But let's be clear: if you have the desire to go to trade school, I support that 100%.
Oh,
because at the end of the day, you want to get the best education you can for the least amount of debt that you incur.
Absolutely.
And if trade school is going to help you do that, then I agree with that 100%.
Oh, not only trade school, man, I just believe in the community college system.
The community college system, I'm a huge
That's
fan
the
of the
best
community college
deal we
system.
got in this country.
That's it, the community college system.
And
A lot of people,
they finally realized that in D.C., turning UDC and
make
community
it a
college
community
and a 4-year. It took 700 years.
I know.
But,
I remember. I was one of the first professors there.
yes.
wow.
But they finally turned it down.
Way
They
back.
couldn't-
Next slide, Eric.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I believe in that. Oh, that's it. Here, green jobs. Oh, this article is interesting because he said how people are funny messing with the numbers. I believe in green and things like that. It seems like we don't do that. We're really screwed in the long run. But people messing with the job, how many real new jobs there are in the green that are green. They're reclassifying old jobs and calling them green and stuff like that. And now the data's saying it could be 4 million or 100,000.
a little bit of gap between those two numbers.
I know, that's right. So you got to be careful with it. And talk about green. I mean, the energy. I mean, he's talking about a company now has 1,000 employees down in Houston. It's going to give every employee a $100,000 bonus. Every employee.
Which company is this?
They need a lawyer.
I'm on my way.
And do they need any legal representation?
Hillcorp. Yeah, and it's energy, and the fracking. I mean, we are going to produce more energy than Saudi Arabia in the next couple of years. I mean, it's just crazy. That's why we got one say everybody's going green, and the other thing here. Now this is a study that this guy talks about too, where they estimate. That should be 2020, not 2002. In 2020, 1.3 million.
Wow.
New records.
New workers by 2020. Wow.
And nurses is only 700,000.
Wow. Well, I guess that means that we're going to be using a lot of energy to get these nurses back up to work.
Yeah, I mean, it's just funny. I tell you, data is important, but people throw around facts like, who the heck knows what really? So if you're making a decision about something, make sure you get behind the facts and know the if, ands, or buts. Eric, the next slide. I think I got one more on this thing. And then going to show you a little bit about what your president is doing, or our president, right? Everyone says if it's not my guy, it's offbeat jobs. That's another nice thing with the growth of the economy and stuff. Man, one of the biggest growing jobs is non-farm animal caretaker. Maybe you can do that downtown Detroit.
Yeah, maybe on those new farms that you put in the middle of Detroit, you could become a non-farm animal caretaker.
Well, you were a jock, right?
Yeah, I did play football.
Yes.
So here, that's another big growth area, is being a professional athlete, coach,
Yes.
stuff like that. Next one, Eric. Hi, take care. Okay, now there's two great sources, I think, in the government for helping you with careers. Choosing careers, getting help, training. You're talking about technical skills. You want to go 6 months to learn to get a certification or something
Yes.
like that. Well, Department of Labor has that kind of money. You get up to $6-8 grand, and that's just 10 grand to become a massage therapist or a technical thing, or get a green job. And the servicelocator.org. Go there. You put in your zip code, and it shows you the offices where you live. You contact them, ask them actually they'll help you with the resume. They'll help you train for a job. You have a business. You're trying to lay off 10 people. They come out and help the people you're laying off find new work anywhere. You can call them up, and they'll come into your business and help them fill out everything for the benefits and help them look for jobs and all that for free. There's companies around that pay a lot of money, charge a lot of money to do that.
Servicelocator.org.
Yeah, but they'll do that for free. Now here's the next thing too. I mean, we talked about earlier, all of us here, about community colleges. Now this is a website you can go and find your local community college. Because if you are stuck at 45 years old, have nowhere to go, you go back to community college, get a nursing degree in 2 years,
and now you could be a part of that 750,000
exactly,
people
right.
that need a job,
and making 50 grand. Don't have to be a barista.
Right.
And it's aacc.nche.edu. God, it's 5 up already. Yeah. We ran out of time.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my goodness. Well, you guys, let me show you the last still here I have with the Academy Award. No, I'm sorry. That's the next one. Right before the last video. Now, see, we have to go through. We don't have time for those. I talk too much. I didn't let these guys I know before that. Where's the Academy Awards store? My goodness. Well, anyway, for the Academy Awards, I lost it there somewhere. We don't have it. No, 31? 31 there? No, okay. Okay, let's just put 32 on. This is how to get grant money to make your movie. So next year, you'll be in the Academy Awards. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise,
thank you so much.
guys.
Thank you. Thank you for everything.
Thank you for having us.
And, thanks for helping everybody, and I hope I get you some calls. People want to copy what you guys do.
Hey, they can follow me on Twitter at Joe Briggs ESQ or at Team Impact.
Team Impact, and you?
And they can go to our website, projectgiveback.org, or follow us on PBG, Project Give Back on Twitter, and follow us on Facebook.
So websites don't mean anything anymore. See, I'm giving everybody a website. I'm an old guy. Okay.
The first time I got a grant for a movie, or even applied for a grant for a movie, was a 30-minute sort of West Texas ghost story called Hollow. And here in Austin, the Austin Film Society started this thing called the Texas Filmmakers Production Fund, which they started in 1996 as a way to give grant money to filmmakers. I applied with my 30-minute West Texas ghost story, which was going to be very expensive. And so I actually applied for 2 grants. I applied for the Texas Filmmakers Production Fund and this other grant called the Aperture Grant, which is given out by a photography magazine called Aperture, and they give out $10,000, but only to one short film a year. So I applied for both of those, didn't get the Aperture Grant, surprise, surprise, but I did get $2,000 from the TFPF, the Texas Filmmakers Production Fund, which of course wasn't enough to actually shoot the movie. And I figured I would use credit cards or get some money from my parents or something to try to make the movie. But I was in a really tough financial point in my life at that stage. So basically what ended up happening is I spent the money on rent and didn't ever make that particular movie. But 3 years later, after I got a couple other jobs, I managed to save up that $2,000 back, put it into savings, and actually use that money to shoot a completely different short film, a short film called Pleasureland, which I did shoot on film, black and white. Ended up being about 18 minutes long. Shot that, used the $2,000 from TFPF, and then also some savings money, and got some money from my girlfriend's parents to make a film print of that. And so that short film ended up playing at about 25 or 30 film festivals around the country, and did pretty well, won a couple of awards. And since then I've said that, the Texas Filmmakers Production Fund gave me the grant money to make that short film, even though it wasn't to make that short film, it was to make another short film. But I essentially, 3 years later, used that money to make this short, and that did pretty well for a little short film. There wasn't any sort of restrictions really, because it was a very young program. It was only the second year they had done it. Since then, they have put some restrictions on it. Basically you sign a contract that says you are going to use the money for this project in these ways, and if you make any changes, significant changes to the project or to the to how you're going to spend it, you have to let the Film Society know. His idea has always been, we're funding the filmmaker, not the film. The idea is that you're supporting an artist, not necessarily a specific piece of work. Although for this grant, you are required to submit a budget and a proposal and make it very, very specific, down to the specific line item in the budget of what you're going to use this money for. But so there is flexibility there, but they try to, make it so that the filmmakers really have to think about what they're doing and what they're asking for, and be very specific, and no one ever got mad at me for actually making a film, even though it wasn't the film. Still, I made a film, and it did well, and they even help me out with doing a screening of sort of as a local premiere of the movie.